Who will be the first to die in Squid Game Season 3, and most importantly how? In this video we are going through the deaths of the main players in Squid Game Season 3. Prepare tissues, as some of these will be very cruel. Let's start with the order of player deaths that will happen starting from episode 1. And the first will be the Frontman. Just kidding. His death will be waiting for you at the end of the video, so be sure to watch it through. The first to be eliminated in Deadly Games will be player 007, Young Shik, who appeared inside Squid Game because of his love for playing in casinos. Taking a big loan to continue his gambling hobby, Young Shik fell under the risk of losing his organs, signing a form similar to the one Guhune signed in Season 1. But during the games, we understand that Young Shik is not a hero and his soft character often puts him in big problems. This happens during the Mingle game, when he cannot resist to players who drag him into the safe room while his mother is left abandoned and sentenced to death. Yet even being so soft and unnoticed on the games, Young Shik found his enemy. Player 044, once abandoned by Young Shik's team during the same Mingle game, put an eye on all traitor players. Exactly, player 044 will be the one who ends Young Shik's life during one of the next games. And if you will look at the main banner for Seasons 2 and 3, you will see that among all key characters, we clearly see exactly player 044. Even though she is a negative character, she stands among the key players, positioned right next to Young Shik. Unfortunately, Young Shik will be the first key player we lose in Season 3, which is confirmed by the filming schedule of the actor who played player 007. His filming schedule was finished half a year earlier than the schedule of other actors. Following Young Shik, we have player 149, the kind and supportive Granny Gumja, who manages to find understanding with most players and especially understand the actions of her son Young Shik's during the Mingle game. Gumja seems to be soft and gentle, yet her character hides more underneath, as she lived through the Korean War and always carries a little knife hidden in her hairpin. It's a mystery how the knife managed to pass with her into the game, yet it is no mystery how she is going to use it. After losing Young Shik because of player 044's actions, Gumja won't last long in the game. Not only because of her vulnerability but because of her strong connection with her son. Even though it's hard to imagine that Gumja will try to kill player 044 for revenge, it's most likely that player 044 will die based on Gumja's actions. As for Gumja, her death may be quick and simple, either during one of the games or even in her sleep when the players will just notice she does not wake up. What we know for sure is that her death will not take long after Young Shik's, and again this is confirmed by the actress's filming schedule, which was finished a half year before other actors' schedules. But how about the most desirable death in the game? Player 124 had already made a name for himself as a cruel guy who took Thanos as his idol and later killed player 380. The death of this player may be one of the most desired and expected by fans, which is why it will happen around the second or third episode, which will be the middle of Season 3. At this moment, it may be hard to believe that Namku will be killed by the most shy player in the games, Min-soo. Yet all events point exactly to this. During the games, Min-soo was always full of fear and lacked determination. He easily fell under pressure and couldn't stand up for himself. This mistake led him to lose and witness the death of the only person who trusted and supported him, player 380. That is why in Season 3, Min-soo will most likely have a transformation of his character from scared to brave for one single action. To kill or be the reason for player 124's death. Perhaps this revenge will lead him to his own end as well, dying together with player 124, just like player 212 and 101 in Season 1. Share your predictions in the comments and let's uncover one of the saddest deaths in Season 3. Player 388, Dehjo, became a favorite of many viewers. His kindness, friendliness, and understanding built trusting relationships with many players inside the game. Yet exactly Dehjo became the victim of his own nature, becoming disoriented during the rebellion and leaving his friends during the fight. Dehjo's good and kind nature is going to change in Season 3, not because of him being scared but because of his guilt towards those who died, thinking it was because of him. In Season 3 he will face his biggest loss, the death of player 390, with whom he became close friends. Even though Dehjo never showed a fighting character to win the game, being once a Marine and having a sense of duty and honor, now he will focus on helping others instead of himself. Knowing that Guhune has a clear goal to finish the game, Dehjo will do his best to dedicate his life to Guhune's mission, which will most likely lead to him sacrificing his life for Guhune during one of the games closer to the end of the season. But even though this death will be very emotional, the real heartbreak will come with the next player. You may notice that Squid Game Seasons 1 and 2 were full of emotions like revenge, jealousy, desperation, hate, care, protectiveness, and support. But there is clearly one very strong emotion that was left behind, and that is love. This emotion can become the key focus in Season 3, as two players who entered the game separately actually share a big history. Player 222 is carrying the baby of player 333, and even though during Season 2 their relationship was shown as complicated, at the end of Season 2 we noticed an awakening of care, responsibility, and protectiveness. These feelings will become stronger in Season 3 and will put player 333 in front of the most difficult decision. Sacrifice the mother of his future child and stay alive, or rescue her life and the life of his future child, sacrificing himself. One way or another, it's unlikely that these two players will reach the final game and go home with the money. Although this is the last season of Squid Game, so anything can happen. Yet if player 333 really puts the life of his girlfriend above his own, this emotional scene will happen closer to the end of the season, most likely in episode 4. The biggest loss may await us in episode 5 or 6, and this will be the death of Guhune. Many viewers claim that it is impossible to kill the main character, but even though it seems terrifying, Guhune's journey was directed to an end starting from Season 2. To avoid repeating the key points of this theory, check other videos on the channel that explain everything in detail. Yet Guhune really could be the one who will protect player 222 from death at the cost of his own life. His goal to save people who ended up in the game made him step into Squid Game for the second time. And this goal will be fulfilled when he saves a purely innocent soul, the unborn child of player 222. If you watched other videos on the channel, it's not surprise for you that exactly player 222 will stay alive till the end. Guhune's death will happen at the end of the season in episode 6, and with him, another player who has stayed with us since Season 1 will die. This is player 001, Dehjo, or the Frontman, who was actually a player in the Squid Game twice. Just like Guhune, Dehjo entered the game to convince Guhune that people who take part in the game are actually trash, and the only chance they deserve is to race like horses for money in deadly games. Yet, during the games, Guhune was the one who influenced Dehjo's mindset and most likely caused a shift in it. In Season 3, we expect to see a backstory of the Frontman, how he stepped into Squid Game back in 2015 and how he navigated through the years, becoming one of the main figures in the games. Most likely Dehjo will realize that all this time he was led by false decisions and his attitude towards the game will change. Yet it will not prevent his death, which may happen by his own decision, staying on the island and being buried underground when a big explosion happens. As always, if you want to know more about the events in Season 3, be sure to take a look at other videos on the channel. But you may notice that there is one player whose fate you still don't know. This is player 120, and her future remains a mystery for us. Be sure to comment with your prediction. How will player 120 die, and will she die at all? Episode 1 of Season 3 will be released on June 27th, and this is only in 91 days. Be sure to take a part in the game and comment on how many days are left till Season 3 from the day you're watching this video.